Auto in seat 2 folds. Daniel Elizondo with a 9-8 of spades.
Not King 10 either.
He will call. Shannon folds. Ray Sanchez folds.
Your
Lothar
favorite
in
my
the
least
big blind with Queen 9 offsuit. He checks. Cheap flop. 3 players, no raises. Jack, Jack, 9. So both Lothar and Daniel have flopped the 9. Francis, however, is actually a pretty heavy favorite here with his King 10. He's a 58% favorite to win this hand. He bets out 2,000. Diamonds, kings, queens, 10s. He's got lots of outs. Raised by Daniel Elizondo with his bottom pair weak kicker. Testing the water. Lothar folds and Francis Wazinski calls. Interestingly enough, when Lothar folds, it doesn't really change the likelihood that Francis will win. He still has a 58% shot. It simply improves Daniel Elizondo's chance of winning. And now Daniel Elizondo's chance is substantially increased. He's got a full house now. Jack's full of 9s. Francis, if he is to win this hand, will need a 10, he will need a king, or he will need the queen of diamonds for a straight flush. Daniel has bet 4,000. Francis has called. It's actually a good call. He's called 4,000 into a pot of 18,000, but he's got 7 outs. I'm not sure I would have made the call. You have to give your opponent credit for a full house. If your opponent has a jack, you're drawing to only 1 out. Francis has made the diamond flush on the river. He checks. Daniel Elizondo checks. It's a good check on Daniel Elizondo's part. He can't really get called by too much. Other than hands that can beat him, perhaps the ace has made a bigger full house for Francis. It has not, of course, and Daniel Elizondo wins the pot. And Francis, again, who started out the day in 4th place, takes another hit to his stack. 2 interesting things there. I don't think I would have made the call that Francis made. It was, however, a good call, and I give him full credit for it. And it also illustrates that Daniel should perhaps have bet a little bit more than he did. He was afraid that he was getting trapped, but his small bet on the turn allowed Francis to make the correct call. In no limit, bet enough that you offer your opponent the opportunity to make a mistake. And Daniel didn't bet quite enough on the turn. Button is Ray Sanchez, the small blind, Lothar Landauer, and the big blind is Francis Wazinski. Jack 3 offsuit and under the gun for Adrian. He will fold that, of course. Jeff Petronak folds. Eric Baldwin in seat 1 folds. Troy Otto folds. Daniel Elizondo folds. Shannon folds. Folded all the way to the button, Ray Sanchez. Another one of the Swedish pros with an ace-6 offsuit. Ray Sanchez from Sweden. Portuguese father. Ace-6 offsuit makes it 4,000 to go. Lothar folds and Francis Wazinski with Queen-Queen moves all in. Ray is facing a call of 6,000 chips into a pot of very close to 18,000. Call it 3-1, and he's pretty much got a call with his ace-6. The only hand that he would there fear is pocket aces. He does make the call. He's about a 3-1 dog to Francis's ladies. Ray shows the ace-6. Francis shows the queen-queen. Francis crosses his fingers. And Ray mutters a quiet prayer.
Against a6, seat 5, and the flop.
The flop. Deuce, deuce, 3. That's a great flop for the queens.
Deuce, 3. Pocket queens are leading right now with queens and
Great flop because there's no ace.
Pocket queens needs to spot
Ray needs the ace to bust Francis. Turn card 9 of hearts. Ray's picked up some extra outs now. Any heart or any ace will win this for his ace-6.
Pocket queens needs to fade a heart.
And the river card.
And the river card. It's a 4 hearts. Pocket queen's gonna be
4 of hearts.
A6 made a running flush.
4 of hearts for Ray. The rail for Francis. His queens get busted by ace-6 on a runner-runner flush. He's going to burn. Francis started the day with 74,000 chips. He started the day in 4th spot, and he's gone.
Well, Francis, harsh luck on the final table, on the feature table for you. Runner flush takes you out.
Yeah, that's the way it happens sometimes. I was getting short, but you get pocket queens. What are you going to do? Big blind, perfect hand. The double up on just didn't happen.
Did you bring anyone down to the Bahamas with you?
Yeah, my girlfriend's here with me.
Go get a hug.
fun.
Go get a hug.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Daniel Elizondo. Pocket kings. And he will make a standard raise. Makes it 4,000 to go. Shannon folds. Ray folds. Lothar folds. To our Canadian, Adrian Thomas in the big blind with a king 10 of diamonds. That's almost the worst hand you want to have if you know your opponent has kings. Adrian calls. You can't fault the call. He's getting short stacked. King 10 suited, certainly good enough to take the flop off in this spot. Adrian is a very patient player. He plays a small stack very well. He's got a great sense of hand value. 6-10-3 in the flop. This could be big trouble for Adrian. Very hard for him to get away. He's not going to get away. He's going to move all in. It would be very hard for him to get away from that hand in any event once the 10 flops. Aggression is the better part of valor. He's moved all in. He will, of course, be called by kings in Daniel Elizondo's hand. Get him over, Daniel. Don't slow roll him.
All in with
See
the
your
call.
opponent turn a worse hand, and he's all in. Get your hand face up.
You got the hearts. This is gonna take
Big problems for Adrian. He needs a 10 to survive.
Finish up or shut it off?
Yeah, shut it off.
I'm telling you,
He's a gentleman. He'll take it well,
I'm not young.
as will Daniel. Also a gentleman. We await Jim Miller to come and call the hand. Jim in the striped shirt has arrived.
Seat 8 with the king 10 with top pair.
This is so that the other table can hear what's going on and monitor play at the feature table and vice versa. So the tournament director will call all the hands. Jack of clubs is of course no good to Adrian. He needs the 10. One of 2 10s on the river, no good. And another one of our Canadians is eliminated, Daniel Elizondo. Pocket Kings eliminating Adrian Thomas with a king 10. And there are now 16 players remaining in the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. There we go. There's the bubble.
Peter Smythe is the bubble player, all the way from the UK. Unfortunate flop. David Matthew flopped a set of 7s, played the hand elegantly, got all the chips in, checked it on the flop. Bad news is you're the stinkhole player.
It's not the first time it's happened to me. There's a lot of guys I wouldn't have called in that situation, but having seen him play, the only way he could win the pot was maybe to fold. Maybe believe he had the 7.
You bet.
So it was hard. I mean, the balance of probability was I felt he had it, but I got 39, 40,000 if he didn't have it.
You bet.
Yeah, so.
Well played.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
No problem.
Back to the action at the Party Poker Canadian Poker Championship. We are in level 10 now with blinds of 800. The small blind is Shannon Shore, and 1600. The big blind is Ray Sanchez, right in the middle of the table in seat 5. 200 chip ante. There are 3,800 chips in the pot. You can see that Charlie Flicker has joined us in seat 7, balancing out the tables as we are at just 2 tables remaining. Just 2 tables, and we'll play down to 9. This is both when the tournament gets to be a tremendous amount of fun and a tremendous amount of pressure. Pocket Rockets. Lothar Land.